All right, so let's jump into this interview with Joe Dispenza,
Okay.
the neuroscientist,
Yeah.
who talks about like the mind's power to shape reality.
Yeah.
Um, and he actually uses this phrase, brainwash yourself for success.
Right.
And, I got to admit, that got me hooked.
Yeah.
I was like brainwashed myself. I'm listening.
It's powerful imagery.
Yeah.
And I think, the idea of brainwashing, we think about that. It sounds extreme, but really what Dispenza's getting at is how we can intentionally rewire our thinking patterns.
Yeah.
And he backs it up with, some really fascinating insights from neuroscience.
Yeah, and like just the fact that 90% of our thoughts are the same as the day before, like
Right.
that just blew my mind.
It's wild.
It makes you realize how much we're just kind of like on autopilot.
Actually,
just replaying the same mental tapes over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's almost as if we're stuck in this mental rut, right? And I think Dispenza's work really offers a way to kind of break free from that. And he talks about, thoughts being like blueprints for our lives,
Okay.
shaping our choices, our behaviors, and ultimately, the experiences that we have.
So let's unpack this blueprint idea a little bit.
Sure.
So are you saying like if I constantly think negative thoughts, am I literally creating a blueprint for like failure?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Yeah.
It's not about blaming ourselves for negative thoughts.
Right.
But Dispenza's point is that our habitual thought patterns, the thoughts that we think over and over again,
Yeah.
they create neural pathways in the brain.
Yeah.
And those pathways can become so ingrained that they really shape our perception of reality.
So it's like those well-worn trails in the forest,
Yes,
The more we walk them, the deeper they get, and it becomes harder to kind of forge a new path.
exactly. And that's where the concept of neuroplasticity comes in, right?
Yeah.
The amazing thing about our brains is that they're constantly changing and adapting.
Right.
We can actually create new pathways, new connections by consciously choosing different thoughts and actions.
So that's encouraging.
Yeah,
So even if I've spent years, thinking negative thoughts, I can still change those patterns
absolutely.
and kind of create a new blueprint.
Yeah,
But-
but it does require effort and consistency.
Okay.
And Dispenza talks about how, strong emotional reactions to past events
Yeah.
can create very powerful neural imprints,
Okay.
almost like getting stuck in a feedback loop.
So it's not just about changing our thoughts, but also about addressing those like underlying emotional patterns.
That's a key part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he suggests practices like meditation, not to just calm the mind,
Right.
but to actually become familiar with our thoughts and emotions.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's less about suppressing those thoughts and more about just kind of observing them, understanding them, and then consciously choosing a different response.
Precisely. Yeah.
Okay.
And he emphasizes that this process of change can often involve discomfort. It's like leaving a familiar room
Right.
and venturing into an unknown space,
Makes sense.
right? Our natural tendency is to resist that discomfort
Totally.
and retreat back to the familiar.
Yeah, we're creatures of habit.
Exactly.
Yeah, and change, even positive change, can feel scary.
Right.
But Dispenza seems to be saying that it's in that unknown space, that space outside of our comfort zone, where the real magic happens.
Exactly. And that's where he introduces this idea of manifesting our desired future,
Okay.
which, can sound a little woo-woo at first,
Sure.
but he's not talking about, some magical law of attraction.
Right.
He's grounding it in neuroscience.
Okay, so I'm intrigued, but I'm also a little skeptical.
Sure.
How do we actually manifest something using our minds?
Yeah.
Isn't that just wishful thinking?
Well, Dispenza would say it's about more than just thinking positive thoughts.
Okay.
He talks about vividly envisioning our desired future,
Yeah.
but also emotionally embracing it as if it's already happened.
Okay.
So he believes that by doing so, we can literally change our brains and bodies to align with that reality.
Hold on. So I'm not just picturing myself getting that promotion.
Right.
I'm actually feeling the excitement, the confidence, the sense of accomplishment as if it's already happened.
That's the idea.
Right.
And he argues that by consistently focusing our thoughts and emotions in this way,
Yeah.
we're not just daydreaming,
Right.
we're actually strengthening specific neural pathways,
Okay.
which can influence our actions in the real world.
Okay, but how does that actually work?
Yeah.
I mean, is it some kind of like mind over matter magic trick?
Well, not quite.
Okay.
The key principle is that our thoughts and emotions create chemical and energetic changes in our bodies.
Okay.
And those changes can in turn influence how we perceive and interact with the world around us,
Okay.
attracting opportunities and experiences that align with our internal state.
So it's like we're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy
Yeah.
by acting as if our desired reality is already here.
Right.
We're making it more likely to manifest in the physical world.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
But it's not just about faking it till you make it right.
Right.
It's about aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions
Yeah.
to create a coherent energy that attracts our desired reality.
This is starting to make more sense.
Good.
But I'm still curious about, like, the practical techniques that Dispenza recommends.
Yeah.
I mean, do we just sit around all day visualizing our dream life?
He suggests a combination of practices, including meditation, mental reversal,
Okay.
and consciously catching those negative thought patterns.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
Good.
But I'm sure there are challenges involved, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it can't be easy to, like, rewire our brains and manifest a whole new reality.
And in fact, that's something we should dive into next.
Okay.
Dispenza doesn't shy away from the fact that this is an ongoing process
Right.
that requires effort, consistency, and a willingness to kind of face our own inner resistance.
I'm definitely up for the challenge. It sounds like it could be incredibly empowering
It is.
to realize that we have the power to shape our own reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what's really fascinating is that Dispenza ties all of this back to the idea of stepping into the unknown.
Yeah.
He believes that it's in those moments when we push beyond our comfort zone that we create the space for real transformation.
Okay, I'm ready to explore that further. Let's unpack these challenges and see how we can overcome them.
Let's do it. So we talked about the power of our thoughts and emotions in shaping our reality.
Right.
Now let's explore some practical techniques that Dispenza suggests
Yeah,
for actually rewiring those thought patterns.
Yeah.
And he really emphasizes the importance of meditation.
Okay, meditation makes sense.
Yeah.
But I got to admit, the whole sit cross-legged chant thing isn't really my style.
Right.
Is that what he's talking about?
Not exactly. Well, mindfulness meditation, can certainly be helpful.
Yeah.
Dispenza advocates for a more active form of meditation where you intentionally shift your focus away from the external world
Okay.
and toward your desired reality.
So it's more about visualization.
Yeah.
Like creating a mental movie
Yeah.
of your ideal life.
That's part of it.
Right.
But Dispenza encourages you to go beyond just picturing it.
Okay.
You need to fully embody the emotions,
Okay.
the sensations, the feeling of already living that desired reality.
So if I'm visualizing myself giving a killer presentation at work,
Right.
I shouldn't just imagine the words I'm saying, but also the feeling of confidence.
Yes.
The connection with the audience.
Exactly.
Energy flowing through me.
The more vividly you can bring that future reality to life in your mind,
Okay.
the more you're strengthening those neural pathways
Okay.
and aligning your energy with that outcome.
I'm starting to see how this connects to the idea of neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
We're literally changing our brains
Right.
by changing our thoughts and feelings.
Yes.
But it sounds like it takes a lot of effort.
It does require commitment, but it's not about forcing anything.
Right.
Dispenza emphasizes the importance of being gentle with ourselves, acknowledging that change takes time.
Okay.
He compares it to learning a new skill, like playing an instrument.
Yeah.
You don't expect to become a virtuoso overnight.
Right. That's a good point. We need to be patient with ourselves.
Yeah.
And trust the process.
Exactly.
But what about those times when negative thoughts kind of creep in and sabotage our efforts?
Yeah.
How do we deal with those?
Well, Dispenza talks about the importance of becoming aware of those negative thoughts as they arise
Okay.
and consciously choosing a different response.
Yeah.
He doesn't advocate suppressing those thoughts,
Right.
but rather observing them without judgment
Yeah.
and then redirecting our focus towards something more positive.
It's like we're training our minds to become more discerning,
Yeah,
to catch those negative thought patterns before they spiral out of control.
exactly. And every time we do that, we're weakening those old neural pathways and strengthening the new ones that align with our desired reality.
Right.
But remember, even with the best intentions, we're going to have days where we slip back into old patterns.
Right. Sure, of course.
It's all part of the process.
That makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
It's not about being perfect,
Right.
but about consistently making the effort
Exactly.
to shift our thoughts and actions in a more positive direction.
Yes.
But I also wonder if we're spending all this time focusing on our internal world,
Yeah.
how do we actually take action in the real world?
Right.
I mean, I can't just visualize my way to a promotion.
That's where Dispenza introduces the concept of mental rehearsal.
Okay.
He suggests practicing new behaviors and responses in our minds,
Sure.
almost like a dress rehearsal for real-life situations.
So if I tend to freeze up in job interviews,
Right.
I can use mental rehearsal to practice staying calm, confident,
Yeah.
articulate, even under pressure.
Exactly. By mentally rehearsing those desired behaviors, you're creating new neural pathways that make it easier to act in alignment with your goals when the time comes.
I love that. It's like we're programming our brains for success.
Yeah.
But are there any specific techniques for mental rehearsal?
Yeah.
Or is it just about closing your eyes and imagining things?
He recommends making it as vivid and realistic as possible.
Okay.
Engage all of your senses. Imagine the environment, the sounds, the smells, even the way your body feels.
Okay.
And don't forget to rehearse the emotions you want to experience.
So it's not just about seeing yourself succeeding,
Right.
but about feeling the emotions that come with it.
Yes.
The joy,
Yeah,
the pride, the sense of accomplishment.
precisely. And the more you practice this,
Yeah.
the more natural and automatic those behaviors will become in real life.
Okay.
It's like training for a marathon. You don't just show up on race day and expect to run 26 miles.
Right. That's a great analogy.
Right.
But I got to admit, even though I'm starting to grasp these concepts,
Yeah.
there's still a part of me that's wondering, does this stuff really work? Can we really change our reality just by changing our thoughts and feelings?
It's a valid question, and Dispenza addresses it head on.
Okay.
He emphasizes that our thoughts and emotions aren't just happening in our heads.
Okay.
They have a direct impact on our physical bodies.
Okay.
He calls this embodiment,
Okay.
and it's a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Okay. I'm curious to hear more about this embodiment piece.
Yeah,
It sounds like we're moving beyond the purely mental realm
exactly.
and into the physical.
And that's what we'll explore next.
Okay.
The connection between our thoughts, emotions, and our physical bodies. Because according to Dispenza,
Yeah.
it's not enough to just think about change.
Right.
We have to actually embody it.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
Meditation, mental rehearsal, rewiring those neural pathways.
Right.
But now you're bringing in this idea of embodiment.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean in this context?
So think of it this way. Our thoughts and emotions aren't just happening in some abstract mental space. They have a direct impact on our physical bodies. You know, you feel that knot in your stomach when you're anxious or your heart racing when you're excited.
Right. We've all experienced those physical reactions
Yes,
to
you do.
stress or excitement.
Yeah.
But how does that tie into rewiring our brains and creating a new reality?
So Dispenza suggests that to truly change our reality,
Okay.
we have to move beyond just thinking about it. We have to actually feel it in our bodies.
Okay.
He believes that by embodying the feelings associated with our desired reality, we send powerful signals to our brains, and that can actually lead to physical changes.
So it's not just about visualizing myself getting that promotion. It's about feeling the excitement,
Yes.
the confidence, the
Yeah.
sense of accomplishment in my body as if it's already happened.
Exactly. And it's not about faking it or pretending. It's
Yeah.
about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations
Yeah.
to create a coherent energy that attracts your desired reality.
Okay. I'm starting to get it.
Yeah.
But how do we actually embody a feeling? Are there specific techniques for doing that?
There are a few things you can try. Visualization is a powerful tool, but as we discussed, don't just see the image in your mind, engage all of your senses.
Yeah.
What would it feel like to be living that reality?
Yeah.
What would you see, hear, smell, taste, touch?
Right.
And most importantly, how would you feel emotionally?
So I'm not just watching a mental movie, I'm stepping into the movie
Yes.
and experiencing it as if I'm really there.
Exactly. And another powerful technique is to use affirmations.
Okay.
These are positive statements that you repeat to yourself,
Right.
not just to reprogram your mind, but to actually feel the truth of those statements in your body.
So instead of just saying, I am confident, I might say, I feel confident and capable.
Exactly.
And really focus on those feelings of confidence and capability as I say the words.
Precisely. And don't underestimate the power of physical movement.
Okay.
Certain yoga poses, for example, can evoke specific feelings or energies.
Yeah.
Or even just standing up straight with your shoulders back can create a sense of confidence and power.
It's like we're sending signals to our brains through our posture and movements,
Yeah.
reinforcing those positive feelings and beliefs.
Yeah.
But even with all of these techniques, I have to admit, there's still a part of me that wonders if this is all a bit too good to be true.
Sure.
Can we really manifest our dream life just by thinking and feeling it?
That's a valid question, and ultimately you have to decide what resonates with you.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that Dispenza isn't suggesting that we can just sit back and wish our way to success. He emphasizes that we have to take action in the real world.
So it's not just about changing our inner world, but also about aligning our actions with our desired reality.
Exactly, and he reminds us that the universe doesn't always operate on our timeline.
Right.
Change takes time, and we might not see results immediately.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean it's not working. It just means we need to be patient and trust the process.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. It's definitely challenged my assumptions about the power of the mind to shape reality.
Good. I'm glad.
So to wrap things up, is there one final thought you'd like to leave our listener with today?
Yes, start small, be consistent, and trust yourself. You have the power within you to create a life that truly aligns with your deepest desires. Don't underestimate what you're capable of achieving.
What a powerful message.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. And remember, the journey of rewiring your reality starts with a single thought.